Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kaodi, and if this is your first time here, you're very welcome. I'm a Lagos-based YouTuber and I make videos about family, lifestyle, beauty, and conversations in general. So welcome. It's good to have you here. Welcome. All right, so today's video is going to be about my arranged marriage story. So if you're interested in this gist, in this juice, and in everything else I have to share, please stay on the line and do not go anywhere. I'll be right back. Now that you're back, before I go on into my own story of how my own marriage is arranged, if it was arranged. But don't worry, if you want to know that, just stay on, because I'm going to give you every tidbit kind of gist about my own marriage story. So, but what's your take on arranged marriages? Are you for it or are you against it? And I'm going to be having that conversation here, and I want you to give me your own thoughts. Tell me what you think about it. Let's discuss in the comment section while I talk about mine, and then we share opinions. And basically that's what this channel is about, by the way. So let's get into it. Why would I favor arranged marriages? One of it is, for me, marriage is such a big deal. I'd like to say, after the decision of making Jesus the Lord and Savior of your life, the very next best decision that I made in my life is getting married to the man I got married to. So I feel like it's the second best thing that can happen to anybody apart from Jesus Christ. All right, so why do I favor arranged marriages? One, for me, is all the due diligence is, say, about 70% done. Because when someone introduces somebody to me, say if I introduce my brother to you, or say a friend of mine introduces her brother to me, depending on my relationship with that friend, if it's someone I truly respect and I truly love and care about, and I know the person shares the same values with me, it cuts short a lot of things I'm going to have done if I didn't know the person at all. Now, this is not to say that because my friend introduced him to me, it automatically means that my friend's brother is like my friend. No, that's not what I'm saying. Point is, it's going to make it a little bit easier to get to know this person, because there's already someone in the background whom I know has my best interest at heart. And why I keep saying, or why I'm saying whom I know, is the kind of friends I have. I know you very well. If I call you my friend, I know you well. So if you introduce somebody to me, you also know me well, and so you know what can suit me and what does not suit me, and the kind of things I like and what I don't like. So that's my point. And so when someone introduces someone to me, it cuts down a lot of the due diligence I would have had to do if I didn't know the person at all. So that's one good thing about arranged marriages. Now, secondly, for me, is it makes the relationship more purposeful. Say I meet a guy, we probably meet at a cinema, and he's like, oh, I like your dress. I'm like, yeah, thank you for liking my dress. And he tries to take my number. It's going to be much more difficult for him to get my number than someone whom my friend introduces to me. So if my friend tells me, oh, my brother would like to get to know you, because she's there, because this person is in our middle, it's going to be easier for the other person to assess me, because okay, so I trust my friend's judgment towards anybody she's bringing to me to a certain level, to a certain extent. So he's going to get my number easier than someone who just meets me off the road. That's not to say he's going to come into my personal space just immediately, but he's going to have easier access to me. That's one. As to the purpose of the relationship, when he comes to me, he's not just, okay, so I want to be your friend, I want to get to know you and what have you. There's already some purpose to that relationship. There's already some name called into it. So we're not just there trying to swim in each other's ocean to find out what. You get my point? It doesn't mean we're not going to get to know each other, but there's some purpose behind the relationship already. Another reason why I favor arranged marriages is, for someone who is indecisive, say a guy or a lady who is indecisive, and he or she has like great people around them, and they introduce you to a certain person or they nudge you towards a certain person, it helps the person make a decision faster. It doesn't mean that everybody they bring your way. I'm just saying this because I know that people have really quality friends around them, and so some people can be very indecisive about, oh, who do I get into a relationship with, who would I be with, and all that. But you have great people around you, and they're like, oh, this person is a good person. I've known her for a couple of years. I've known him for a couple of years, or whatever. Just, you know, you guys should talk, go on a date, hang out, and see if something clicks. And a good number of times, at least for the few that I've witnessed and for my own self, it worked, and it's really beautiful. So please do not kick it away. Like, don't kick off the idea that, oh my god, nobody will ever do anybody to me. That next introduction may just be your husband or your wife, as the case may be. Lastly is, if it works, you know, especially where two families are involved who already know each other, if the arranged marriage works, it's usually really beautiful because it strengthens family ties, and you know it makes everything easier. If people are going to be getting married, you have to go and be doing research about this family or the other family. A lot of protocols will be cut short, and you know, things move really smoothly. And that's my take on the pros of arranged marriages. However, I have reservations. I won't say there are cons, but I have reservations, and I'm sure you have your own reservations. Please share with me while I share mine with you right now. One of it is, there's always that nagging feeling of, okay, that third party that introduced you, you want to live up to their expectations, or you don't want to disappoint the person, and so you find it hard to make your own independent decisions without involving the person. Like, oh, come and see what your brother is doing, or come and see what. If you didn't know anybody, you would sort it out without involving that other person. But because there's someone else involved now, you always have that, oh, let me tell her so she knows I'm doing my best, or let me tell him so he or she knows I'm doing my best. Do you get my point? Yeah, so that's one thing I really don't like about that. There's always, you're watching, as much as, okay, this person is not really your thing, you're now looking at a third party who is not even really in that relationship with you, just because the person introduced both of you, and then you're stuck in something you shouldn't be stuck in. Capish? Another reason why I really don't like, my reservations about arranged marriages, is when things go sour, and say the two families know each other. Oh gosh, not just know each other, like maybe you are really close tight family friends and what have you. It makes everything messy, it makes everything awkward if you guys have to see each other at a family function, especially when it really goes south, like when things really go bad. You wish that you all were never in that, you know, arrangement or situationship or relationship or whatever it was called. Like, okay. And then another reason why I really don't like the arrangement thing is where, like, marriage is the major discourse why the introduction was made. You find parties not really being themselves. Everybody's trying to act, you know, all bish, so that let this person know that I'm in line. You know, there's no relaxed, the environment is not relaxed, atmosphere is not relaxed. Sometimes, I'm not saying that this is what happens in most cases. Some cases, you know, the two people or the parties involved are not as relaxed as they should be if they were just friends, if they were just getting to know each other on a very, you know, common ground, without having the pressure of performance from the third party or third parties who introduce them. Get my flow? Now, lastly, for me, for arranged marriages, why I have reservations is, say I were a third party, yeah, I'll have reservations to, you know, for fear of loss of reputation for myself, if I were going to introduce one person to the other person, because I truly do not know anybody. I don't think I'm putting this right. Because no one truly knows anybody. You can't say, oh, I know this person is 101%. I know what they do when they sleep and when they wake up. As much as, okay, you get to know this person and you're like, oh, this person will be a good match for this person, I don't want my reputation to be soiled and then you go there and you mess up. So even when I have introduced parties, I've introduced one person to another person, I'm always warning one party or the I want both parties. I want, if it's a guy I'm introducing to the girl, I'm like, don't go mess up my girl, or don't go, you know, spoil my name. Like, I'm putting my head in line here, I'm putting my name in the line here. So be good, be of your best behavior. Be of your best behavior. And to the girl, if you know I make introduction from a guy to a girl, I'm going to tell you like, well babe, don't put your whole heart and your whole chest into this. You know, watch out for it. Treat him the way you treat a regular guy who comes to you. And you know, as much as I'll say be on your best, but at the same time, don't shortchange yourself. Do your thing. The fact that he's coming from you doesn't mean he's me. So there's this fear of, okay, don't go spoil my name, don't go sell my name, and then a third party may not even introduce who they want to introduce to you just because they don't want to lose their reputation. Do you get my flusha? Yeah, you get it. So let me know what pros you think there are in such situations, and then what cons or reservations you have in arranged marriage say situations. However, this is how mine happened. Yeah, I know you've been waiting for this part. I know. Me too. Okay, so I didn't meet my husband on the street. I didn't meet him on the road. I didn't meet him as a someone introduced us, and the someone is his sister. I'm going to keep her name out of this. However, get you a sister-in-law like mine. So she was my senior in school. Say in university, she was in final year when I was in my first year, stuff like that. And we clicked up as friends, and we're really good friends. We're someone I really admired and, you know, looked up to in school and what have you. And sometime a few years back, she calls me like, oh, my brother would like to speak with you and blah blah blah. I'm like, what ifs? Give him my BB pin. If he, you know, if I like him, I'll give him my number. If not, please. And I think we talked on that whole BB thing for like a day. I don't know what happened. Either my phone got missing or his phone got missing. I think his phone got missing or something. Now that we've talked about it, and he didn't get back. He didn't call me again. We didn't have that communication again. We lost that communication line. And sometime a few years, say like 4 years back or so, someone reaches out to me sometime in December and was like, hello, my name is so and so, and I'm so and so's brother. And I'm like, oh wow, what's up, Merry Christmas, how are you? And you know, we got talking like, oh, I'd like to see you, I would like to, you know, get to talk to you. And I'm like, oh great, I'm in Port Harcourt presently. You know, I used to live in Port Harcourt, my parents live in Port Harcourt, so I'm like, I'm Port Harcourt presently, but I'll be in the East for New Year, so whichever favors you. I'm like, okay, let's meet at the East. And so I came to the East and we saw, and we were friends for a while, for a few months, and then we started dating. My point is, he couldn't have just called me out of the blues and said, hello, I got you, who did you get my number from? You don't want to get my number randomly, because I can be so myself. But yeah, it made it a lot easier because he was coming from her, and you know, this is someone I truly respect. And so once it was coming from her, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you at least, I'm going to give you audience, I'm going to hear you out, I'm going to relate to you, because I trust whom you're coming from. I trust that she will not, you know, she won't fall my hand, she won't give me anybody that is reckless. Did you get my point? So it made it easier. It made a lot of things easy for us, you know. I wasn't always going back to her to say, oh, see what your brother did, or see what your brother did not do. No, I got to know him for my own self. Do you get? Because she's his sister, she's not his girlfriend or his wife as I am right now. So there are some things she wouldn't know about him as much as I know about him. Even though there are things she knows about him that helped me, you know, during the dating process. But I had to know him for myself, which is my advice to anybody who is getting into a relationship that, you know, in an introduction was made. Don't rely on your knowledge of the person who introduced you to this other person. Get to know the person you're introduced to for yourself. Don't rely on, oh, the person that introduced or the person has good character and what have you. Get to know the person for yourself. On a final note, I'm going to share a few things that helped me through, you know, our introduction process up until when we started dating, and right now, or towards marriage and everything. But basically, I'm going to keep the conversation around being introduced to someone and my 2 cents on it. So for me, one is manage your expectations. Really manage your expectations. I went out to meet him that day. I went out to meet my husband that day, and I wasn't going to hang out with a future husband, someone who was going to marry me. No, no. I went out to hang out with a friend's brother. Really. I'm not saying don't be on your best. I'm not saying don't look good. I wasn't even looking great. I wasn't looking great, my dears, but that's story for another day. Just manage your expectations. Go out, be yourself, relax, go and have fun. Don't try to micromanage it. Just relax yourself and have fun. Basically, enjoy the company, enjoy the discourse, enjoy the meals rather, enjoy conversations. Do not go out with so you don't get disappointed. You get my point? It doesn't mean that you should lower your expectations or whatever. Just manage them. You gotta go. That means, do you understand? For people that are not able. Then secondly is be firm about what you want. Know it and be firm. So for us, it was, even though marriage was brought up in the conversation, my husband from day one told me he was going to marry me. He told me he wanted to marry me. He told me he wasn't here to play. In his words, "You're my last bus stop." I can't even say the way he says it, but yeah, those are his words. "I didn't come to play. You're my last bus stop. I want to marry you." And I'm like, hold on, bro. Hold on. Hold up. And I'm like, okay, hold on. I'm not interested in getting married to you right now. I'm not interested in that. But you can be my friend. I have room for friendship, but I do not have room for marriage in my heart right now. And for me, why that is important, or why that was important then, is he knew what I wanted. I knew what he wanted too. So nobody was fooled. Nobody was taken advantage of. Nobody was led on. So when he agreed to remain my friend until I was comfortable with getting into a relationship, he knew what he was getting into. And also when I was getting into a relationship with someone that wanted to marry me, I knew what I was getting into. But at least I would say at the beginning, we both stated what we wanted and we're firm about it. Do you get my point? So don't go with one thing and say another thing. State what you want and be firm about it. Thirdly is put your best foot forward, sis. Talking to my girls and the guys to put your best foot forward. So bearing in mind that someone's reputation is in line, someone introduced you, the person believes in you, the person trusts you, the person put their reputation at stake. Is that yeah, at stake for you. Be on your best behavior, put in your best efforts, get your face beat, do a decent job, be decent to the person. If it works, fine, and if it doesn't, it's also okay. I'm not saying don't overdo it, don't over package or anything. Just be yourself, but do your best with the relationship, do your best with it. You can see when someone does their best with something. You get? So handle it with care. Handle people that were introduced into your life, even though it doesn't end up in marriage or what have you. You may have struck off a good relationship that would be good to you in years to come, be good to your family in years to come, or just for the fact that somebody introduces this person to you. You don't soil the person's name by being a crass person. You get? So put your best foot forward always. Fourth, I can't overemphasize this thing enough. Get to know each other. Get to know each other. Do not rely. Do not expect that, oh, I've been introduced to this person, everything about this other person is going to fall into place. Lie. Sis, bro, you lie. Get to know this person for yourself. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your generation. You owe it to your family. You owe it to your children to get to know this person. Get to know their strengths. get to know their weaknesses, get to know what, you know, ticks them off, get to know what makes them happy, get to know what gives them joy, get to know what, you know, makes them dance, as much as you can. I'm saying this because, okay, we may not be able to know a person 101%, but I'm about to speak Igbo right now. Nkige many, the one that you can do, sis, do it. In my own case, my husband put in so much effort, like in getting to know me. I didn't do half of what that young man did, of what my young man did. What is that young man? Girl, I didn't put half as much effort as he did, and I'm glad he did that. I'm glad he was consistent. I'm glad he was committed. I'm glad he was patient to our cause, because it's literally what brought us where we are currently. You know, his patience, his love, the kindness he showed me, everything is what gave me the heart to say, okay, I'm ready to do life with you. I would be here with you. I don't want to be anywhere else, and everything, because I could see for myself that this person was committed to my cause. He was committed to be where I wanted him to be with me. And then I was something about communication, you know, getting to know each other. He made sure that our communication is like, oh gosh, what am I saying? He made sure that our communication lines were always open. There's nothing we don't talk about. Everything, anything. There's nothing I can, you know, beat my chest anywhere. I can say with my chest, like Dorothy. So yeah, I can say with my chest that there's nothing we don't talk about or we can't talk about. Then I'm ashamed. There's nothing I'm ashamed of to have in a conversation with him. There's no kind of conversation we don't have. Point is, I know this person, and I don't know the person just as he was introduced to me. I know him as a person. He knows me as a person. Now I don't have to refer to the third party every time. Oh my God, what's going on? Come and talk to your brother. I have come to know your brother for myself. Do you get my point? Do you get? You got to go? Yeah, I know you get. I know you get. So, that's how my arranged marriage story went, and it's still going. And we are still bouncing in the Lord, to the glory of God. But yeah, so please guys, let me know what your own arranged marriage story is about, if you had one, or introduction was about, like someone introduced your spouse to you, or your partner, or whomever you're in a relationship currently. Let me know in the comment section. I would like to know. I'd like you to share, and so people don't get a wrong idea or negative ideas about being introduced to someone else. It's not a bad thing. It's a really good thing, I would say, but I do say so myself. It's a really good thing. However, I just, you know, need you to open your eyes. But it's a really, 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 I cannot say it enough, it's a really good thing, honestly. And yeah, that's the end of my video for this week. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to share with your friends, please click on the share button. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, gosh, we put in so much effort, content creators, you know, we put in so much effort to put out these videos every other week. So please subscribe to my channel. There's so much more coming. I promise to put out great content. I pledge to put out better and better and better content until, you know, we're blown. But right now I need to grow with you guys, so please click on the like button, share and subscribe, and it means so much to me, you know. So until next time, I love you, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Mwah.